Thank you for the introductions and having all of us here. So this is what the topic says, shift, control, close. So this is the final closing session of the day. And kind of everything that has been discussed the entire day, whether it is branding, influencers, distribution, ad tech, everything culminates into this session about sales and marketing. So this is where we are going to talk about how everything comes together to increase efficiencies for sales and marketing and for real estate. And for that, I have some very eminent experts here who will be sharing their insights on this topic, how technology and marketing is coming together to bring more money into the real estate. So what we will be doing is, we will start with the new trends that are happening in the sector, move on to the role of AI and automation, how it is becoming an important part of real estate. Then talk about the sync between sales and marketing. And then finally, I will ask my speakers to do some crystal gazing and tell us what's next. So in the interest of time, let's get directly into questions. And my first question to all my speakers is, do you think real estate has now moved from intuition to intelligence? Ashwinder Singh, you are leading an organization, BCD Group. Earlier, you have very successfully led Bhartiya Group. Overall, in the sector, how do you see are developers now moving from gut feeling to more data-led decisions?
Thank you, Sapna. I've been here for an hour and a half, and I've been hearing a lot about AI, MarTech, influencers, and a lot of things about data and how things are getting automated and how AI is going to help the real estate companies, which most of us represent. The beauty is that most of the real estate developers outsource their intelligence to companies like Insomniacs. So I don't know whether we are intelligent or not, but things, the way they look, the basics of AI is data. And till the time, we are not able to organize data, as a real estate developer, I would say, because three of us are from real estate development, and Chaitanya is a consulting person who can give us more perspective on that. Yes, we want to rely more on data, because finally we want to sell more. And anything that helps us sell more is great. So I've been hearing that leads, there is a constant struggle between marketing and sales, where sales says that the quality of lead is not good, and marketing says that you are not acting upon the leads that are we generating, and that is where AI is coming into play. And people are saying that AI is trying to figure out and reach to those prospects who have a higher propensity to buy, rather than everybody who's even remotely interested in buying. So yes, we all are now looking towards intelligence. We want to use resources. AI has become, earlier AI was a jargon, but I think now AI is really steeping into it, whether it is marketing, whether it is even on the branding side, pre-sale side, sales side. Everywhere, the way we want to engage with the customer, we want to engage in a very intelligent manner. But coming back to your question, finally, I have right now not seen that where marketing is using AI, has the quality of leads gone up? I don't know. I don't have data to suggest that. We all want to do it. Has our productivity of converting those leads gone up? I don't know. It is the same. Unfortunately, last couple of months, the market have also been not as bullish as they were. But yes, the world is changing. There is going to be focus on having high quality marketing agencies, marketing leaders who give the quality of lead in a manner that the conversion increases, and that is where AI will have to support the sales people also, so that they reach out to leads on time and are able to convert it.
That's right. Vishal, you agreed with Ashwinder that developers have outsourced their intelligence. So, what would you like to add to that?
No, developers are still intelligent. We have not outsourced that department. See, all said and done, artificial intelligence by the name itself is artificial, okay? It can never replace or I'll say, change what a human intelligence can do, okay? What it can do is definitely complement and supplement what humans are doing. Data-driven decisions are always, good. It's always better to have validated scientific, data in front of you. And it's said that whatever can be measured can be improved. And as far as sales is concerned, sales is always about storytelling. Most of us sitting here, including Chaitanya, though he's a consultant, he's a terrific sales guy. And sales cannot be accomplished without a great storytelling. And story there is always two parts to it. There is a part which is fiction and there's a part which is fact. The part which is fiction is always human intelligence. The part which is fact is always artificial intelligence or data.
Right.
So I think both has to go hand in hand. Nobody can replace each other.
That's right. I think human experience, human intelligence cannot be replaced. Rajeeb, what would you like to add to that? Yes, we need data, we need technology, but human intuition cannot be replaced.
I agree with you. I think there are certain parameters, if you see what been there in real estate. When it started with real estate 10 years back, we used to talk about number of leads. I think that used to be one of the KPIs that we used to give to the digital agencies. Now, at least, I think the marketers have started tracking number of walk-ins and the conversion ratio. I think the AI, or Vishal was talking about the storytelling part, I think that is becoming critical. Whether the storytelling is done in a way that you personalize to certain segment, we haven't gone to that kind of depth that, I am doing it for each customer, but there are buckets being done. Like say, if a consumer segment is there for a project in that micro market, we have been able to segment into 5-6 different buckets and trying to address them differently with a different communication. I think that is the part which has started, at least with some of us doing that and some of the other developers doing that. That kind of customization is helping us to get more walk-ins at the site and the conversion ratio going up. So the conversion ratio today is critical with the kind of tech support that we have, whether the pre-sale using a bot to some extent. We are experimenting in one of the projects where the pre-sale, the number of leads that we have for a pre-launch is huge. So instead of putting the pre-sale team doing that, we are putting a bot to filter to some extent, and once that filtration happens, then pick up by the pre-sale. So that efficiency is getting added to some extent, and that is helping us to make sure that you are addressing to the right segment. Otherwise, what used to happen that you used to call everyone. So that used to take a lot of your time and productivity. In a day, if you're doing 90 calls, how much you will be productive? Today, you are doing 20 calls, so your productivity has gone up.
Right. So, technology helps in precision targeting,
Correct.
but the storytelling comes from the human connection or the human.
Absolutely. I think the storytelling and the communication part is going to stay. I think real estate is more of, when you say that it's a part of the roti kapda makan, it's going to be there.
Correct.
And you have to make a good story with the customer, how to engage with the customer to make sure that he comes back to you, and the revisit that you do at the site level, then the conversion ratio goes up. I think the storytelling is very critical to engage with your prospects and customers.
Chaitanya, your last thoughts, like everyone said here, data is important because what you can monitor, what you can see, what you can gauge is how you can increase efficiencies. But human element will remain, the intuition element will remain. What has been your observation?
So if you look at it, this industry has not been in love with technology for years together. It's only last few years where there's been a good amount of embracement which has been done on technology. Today, if you ask me, is there a mindset shift which has happened to look at technology and start looking at data? I think we are moving very good in that direction. Are we able to kind of put platforms, put systems, believe that this is going to create a backbone, I think we are still reaching there. But are we able to draw insights and act upon to it, drive governance? I think there's still a distance to travel. So it's about the fact that what Ashwinder was saying, right? क्या कुछ needle move हुई क्या मेरी? But if you look at it, some of the developers who have been taking a plunge into it, we have actually seen a good amount of 20 to 30% productivity gains. We have seen a good amount of 10 to 20% conversion gains happening. So I'll give maybe a couple of examples. See, first is that even attrition in this industry is very high if you talk about pre-sale sales level. It's not very easy to get those people who can have that kind of a mindset that I know I can push and sell it. Today only, I was a developer, we are reviewing something and we found that around more than 80% of the leads, walk-ins were marked as cold. Now when you start looking at that data and you find that boss usne to revisit kiya hai, he came with the family. If somebody is coming with 2 times, it cannot be cold. And when you start conversing with that person, you realize no. So if you want to get a predictability engine going in, it's extremely important that data becomes your friend. So the data should be seen as something which can help you accelerate and be a guide to a decision. At the end of the day, decision has to be taken by humans. That intuition will definitely play a key role because you engage with your customer, you understand his actions, his insights. But data today, I think we talked about today, the power of AI is it can capture data at each and every moment of interaction. You drop in a lead, you visit there, you revisit there, everything gets captured. So today, that data is there, the power of AI can help you solve that and be a guide there.
Okay, fantastic. So intelligence is definitely, happening in real estate because technology is coming in. But as Chaitanya said, it's a long way still to go in terms of technology in real estate. Data-driven decisions are being made, which is important to increase the efficiency. But human intuition and human intelligence, human component is here to stay. Every one of you talked about leads, etc. Is marketing still focused on leads, impressions, or is it moving towards more performance goals, more sales conversions? Vishal, if I want to have your input as a marketing expert, is leads still important, or is it the conversions now becoming the focus?
See, it's like chicken and egg. Murgi kahan se hai, ande se hai. So closures will come from leads. But yes, when it comes to measuring performance, I'm not a great fan of measuring performance in terms of leads because you can have thousands and millions of leads, and if you don't close and achieve your targets, the leads are of no use. But also it depends on how do you make use of those leads. Like my friend Chaitanya said, 70-80% ACE, companies, they don't even track what's happening to their leads. And cost per lead is going through the roof. So it depends on the marketer how he wants to track. And if you ask me, having a funnel and pipeline and all that is fine. But ultimately what matters is about return on investment. And return on investment is always closures. So, yeah.
Rajeeb, what would you like to add? As he said that a lot of leads don't even get registered or not even noticed. So lead is important, conversion is important, performance is important, where the focus should be.
I think at the end of the day, if you see the site, that's the place where the experience happens and the customer comes to the site. Whatever you do as a marketing funnel, at the end of the day, you have to see the site visits. And today, the lead generation mostly happens through marketing team. That's we call it as direct leads. But the 70% of bucket gets filled up by channel partners. So today the channel partners, when he gets a lead generation, it's not only the marketing team of the developer is doing the lead generation. There is a competition between the marketing team of a developer with the channel partners. So today the lead funnel is completely distributed and who takes the major segment of the leads. So lead is in a way, it's not a KPI anymore. It's the site workings done at the site level. And today, in a pre-launch kind of, because there are different stages of real estate, in a pre-launch, you'll see 70 to 80% lead comes through channel partner. And there the person who are there at the site, calling the customers, getting them to the site visits. They have the database to depend on, and they call the database that they have. So more than leads, it's the site visits and the walk-ins. And we cannot see only a direct lead funnel, because today we are in an ecosystem where the channel partners are contributing 60 to 70% of sales.
Right.
So we have to see the entire ecosystem, how it works, along with the direct lead, which is the developer's lead. The marketing team is doing it.
So the lead funnel is distributed between channel partners and developers, and also it is not the leads but the site visits, the walk-ins, which is important. Chaitanya and then Ashwinder, I would need your views on that. Chaitanya, what do you have to say? Is what
I
you
think
mentioned.
the entire process is important. In my opinion, you cannot replace the funnel. The lead has to be there, right? I will focus only on direct leads for now. The lead has to be there. The question has started moving that in between, what is my qualified lead ratio? What used to pehle happen that, okay, give me 10,000 leads. The agency will give you 10,000 leads. That can open the tab the way they would want to, and you can always get leads. But are they genuinely qualified to say that I want to look at this budget, this area, this location, and I want to buy for that? So I think now the conversation is saying that how do I look at qualified lead, and what Rajeeb rightly said, everyone is now looking at lead to walk-in. How much walk-in is happening? How can I improve that? And just to tie with the previous point, how data is helping. Extremely important that you look at what is my walk-in, what is my closure, what is my booked customer. Am I learning from that, modifying my creators, creating the right segments around it, which will improve the quality of leads? Because two things have to happen. One, if I get the lead funnel, is my pre-sales calling back in time? Second is my qualified leads happening, improving basis the segmentation and what's happening on the market?
Right, Ashwinder, qualified leads, walk-ins, funnel, overall you are looking at the entire spectrum of the organization. So
See, basically, if I have to look at the sales funnel, what is a sales funnel? You have a form fill, you talk to the customer, you have a face-to-face meeting, you have a site visit, and what is a re-site visit is generally a final negotiation, and then you have a closure. Now my point is, we kept on talking about AI, that AI is going to help us with leads. So the KPI has to be that if you are using AI to give us leads, is my conversion to site visit increasing or not? That is where I agree with Rajeeb, and I also agree with Chaitanya that the entire process has to be kept in mind, because that is where you will ensure that your site visit increases. But my point is, if there is a marketing agency that is saying that we are using AI, maybe your cost per lead will go up, but this is how we are going and getting a prospect who is actually looking to buy and not a prospect who is thinking to buy. That means that when that happens, for tier 1 category A developers, in the next 2-3 years, there's going to be so much of technology in real estate that your site visits are going to become virtual. We might keep on saying that human intervention will be required, because we ourselves as a fraternity have been very laggard in adopting technology. Real estate has been the last in adopting technology. That is why India, there is not even a single unicorn in real estate in PropTech. It is only in the last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years that some PropTechs have started mushrooming. I don't know how well they are doing, what is their revenue model, what is their go-to-market strategy, are they going to become a unicorn or not. But in the next 3 to 4 years, for top-end developers, if you trust a developer, you take the top 20 developers, there's going to be so much of technology and platform that you are going to do a site visit virtually. You are going to do a Zoom call, which is going to be linked in the app. You will talk to the person who's going to be on the other side. The physical site visit might reduce because the developer has a lot of credibility. There's going to be a payment gateway, and the booking is going to be done without any manual intervention, the way things happen in Singapore today. Obviously, the volume is not there. But trust me, it is a matter of time, and I can see this happening, because that is the only way to reduce cost, improve client experience, and the way the newer generation is coming, and this 30-year-old person, the moment they are going to reach 40, they are going to be very comfortable with technology. We guys might not be, but they are going to be very comfortable. The regulator is going to become very stronger, so they will only have few developers where you can do those deals without even meeting them. And technology cannot be ignored. Today it is a silent sales person. Tomorrow, technology is going to play a very critical role in end-to-end sales also, is my belief. Things are going to change very fast.
Fantastic.
Just to add on, I think there is a distribution and the reach. I think technology is helping us to have a wider reach and distribution. Today, when you do a pre-launch, today just see that how many NRIs are participating in the project. That has increased a lot. Purely what Ashwinder was talking about, the digital penetration, and you have been able to make a deal without having the physical presence, that has increased. The second aspect is the experience creation. Today, whether it's a physical or a digital space that you are getting it, critical is the experience creation. The AR, VR part is always there. It's adding to the tool, whether it's helping to the sales guys to close or not, but that's creating an experience. The same thing today, the phygital model. We used to have physical scale models. Today it has become phygital. So you are adding digital to it so that you can customize to different segments. If somebody wants to see only interior, show him only interiors. Right. Somebody wants to see only exterior, show him only exterior. So that customization to some extent is definitely helping. It's creating an experience. Also, you need to have something at the site level to get the customer again. Otherwise, the chances of conversion is higher when you get a revisit. Right. So you keep some kind of tools to be there at the site level, so that you have something new to showcase when the customer comes with the family or with his or her parents. You have something to showcase as an engaging tool.
Correct.
So it's helping in conversion.
Correct. So Vishal, let me come to you. Ashwinder ji said it's real estate for tier 1 developers at least very soon is going e-commerce way. As Rajeeb said, a lot of technology helping, especially with the NRIs or outstation developers. What's your take on it? Sales, is technology a sales partner now? In fact, we heard one of the conversations where AI is talking and it seems like it's a human talking. So where are we going?
See, technology is as good as, the person who is using it or the person who is making people use it. Because it's garbage in, garbage out, and if you look at where technology is moving, it's the perfect reflection of where the consumer behavior and preferences are moving. Look at a 2-3-year-old kid. That kid is consuming his lunch or dinner over a tab or a mobile. He knows how to open an app and all that. And look at where technology is moving, the way people are consuming media. Earlier, during my earlier sales days, print and hoarding and all those television used to be primary inquiry or lead generation mediums. Nowadays, everything is digital. Everything. Who knew that people not consume media on television? They'll be consuming media on mobile. Mobile is your bank. Mobile is your camera. Mobile is your everything. So if that's where consumers are moving, we have to move where consumer preferences are going. And ultimately, it's a bias market. And I still think India is still not evolved to sell a home in a box. Because people are still stuck in that mindset of कितना per square foot rate है वो जब तक सामने सामने बैठ के negotiate नहीं होता deal doesn't get closed. So robot cannot give a price. Only Rajeeb being Ashwinder can give the price.
Okay. So as Vishal said that everything is fine, but still वो per square feet तो human being ही दे सकता है. Your observation, you have been consulting a lot of developers. Do you think sales technology is becoming a sales co-pilot?
Yeah, so it's assisting the sales process without a doubt in my mind. And I think if you look at a lot of plotted developments in the recent last 12 to 24 months, a lot of developers have done the entire sales lead to closure on digital platform. So is there a use case? Answer is yes. That's one extreme example, but maybe the homes you're trying to sell may not reach from that perspective. But if you look at, मुझे lead generate करना है, today I can use the propensity model to ensure that I'm more effective in calling the right set of customers, which helps me in a better lead to walk in. If I have to ensure that I have to engage the lead, I can have personalization at scale. Today, since I have got entire customer demographics and even psychographic, I think we talked about in the previous presentation, even social parameters can give you behavior in terms of how can I segment the customer. We know that today if you go onto a website, that ad follows you. Basis what action you take, it personalizes the ad, what is that you are most interested in. Even for example, when you're talking to a call center, basis the conversation. Let's say I show interest in, let's say, cricket tournament. The brief which I get, or collateral which I get, talks about that amenity first. So essentially it says that if I have to create what Rajeeb was saying, experience and engagement, technology becomes a very simple and an easier tool to keep engaging with the customer, helping my pre-sales, sales, sourcing team to take the next best action. It drives efficiency, it drives engagement. Hence, very clearly it should be an assisted sales.
Fantastic. So I think the answer to the question is yes, for engagement and experience, technology becomes the first step, and from there on it enables the pre-sales and the sales staff how to go about it. Probably, as Vishal said, we are still a long way of getting home in a box, and probably real estate as on the way to e-commerce. But we are there, but human component as real estate is a very still a touch and feel kind of a product. So human intervention in terms of sales is continue to, we will see. Now coming to our next segment where we are talking about role of AI, automation. You all spoke about personalization, when it comes to experience and engagement with customer. Two things when we talk about role of AI and automation. One is personalization at scale, and second is cost or efficiency, the customer acquisition cost. So on those two parameters, Rajeeb, let's go first with you. How AI and automation role is becoming important in these two aspects, personalization and cost efficiency?
I think it's critical that, we use AI to improve the efficiency. It's only that if I can move my creatives fast enough to have personalization to an extent that when the customer has coming for the second time, I have a different creative to show, and then the other customer who coming for third time, I have a different creative to show. So the creative communication, that is something that we can place AI and change the creatives. The second aspect, as if you see about the communication platform that real estate is using, today most of the creatives are moving towards a video format. And that is where it used to take a lot of time. The video format, if you have to talk about a communication, I want to have an offer tomorrow for a Gudi Padwa or anything that I want to talk it about. Today, a lot of communication is happening, not only a JPEG file or a text format, but video. I think that is becoming critical, that if I have tools like AI, I can do that video format quickly. I can start sending it to my database. So that is very clear that, something that we need to use AI format, which is going to give us more penetration, and also it increases the efficiency, because today it is easier to send a reel 20-second format and get the clicks, and that the response time is also faster, and also customer used to understand better in a JPEG file whatever you want to communicate. If you can communicate in 20-second video format, that becomes more efficient. So AI obviously is helping in that sense. The second big aspect is, for me at least, the pre-sale. I think the use of bots is very critical, that you check out your funnel, give the ranking to the leads. So one of the examples that we have started in some of the projects is that when the lead comes, with the bot, with the AI module, we start ranking the leads. So give the ranking 1 to 3, 1 to 3, 1 to 3. Then the pre-sales team knows that which one to be called first. So instead of calling every lead in the first 24 hours, they prioritize which bucket to target. And that is where the AI is helping in an extent that the percentage of conversion ratio has gone up, the site workings have improved.
Yeah, that's efficiency. You have bot to do the ranking system and then call
And also the creative
accordingly.
communication.
And the creative communication, of course, the faster the better. Chaitanya, I would like to ask you, we are talking about personalization at scale and the cost efficiency. What's the challenge when we are talking about role of AI and automation? If it was so easy, we would have seen it, everywhere.
So, I think
In
first-
real estate.
yeah. So we talked about that technology is something which doesn't come so easy, right? And the speed at which AI and Gen AI has made inroads in the last 12 months has been enormous. And we are finding what Rajeeb rightly said. If you look at it, remember that Cadbury ad, that girl and the stadium being booked. Today, if you had to do it in the yesteryears, you have to book a stadium, you have to get crowd, you have to get the person, you have to shoot everything put together. Now, with AI, very human-like, is far more possible, reduced cost, extremely high TAT. So I think today the technologies are available depending on, because today the communication has to happen with the channel partner also, customers also, leads also, everyone. Those kind of formats can be far more easily created. So I think that's now coming onto the fray, that is coming far more easily available and accessible, and people are trying to do that. So that's one part of it. Second, in from efficiency, which we talked about pre-sales, sales, customer propensity, I think data as a hygiene is an issue. I think how do you kind of create that culture that data is important? While I said insights is still a distance to travel. That culture shift has to happen in the mind in terms of valuing the data, and AI can play a good role in terms of augmenting or enriching the data. But that's, as I said, still distance to travel.
So AI has a big role it can play in augmenting the data. Vishal, any use case that you gave where AI has or automation has helped in personalization of communication, in cutting down the costs? Any use case that you can probably share with us?
In Raymond Realty, we are actually using AI. One of the first developers who have started using AI in websites and even on our pre-sales numbers, if you call. So you can actually rationalize a lot of tasks, cut down unnecessary processes, and instead of actually carpet bombing everywhere, you can actually pinpoint the issue, and you can actually do a surgical strike on the subject matter itself. And just to give you an example, like when it comes to targeting for a certain segment, like we have a flagship segment called as Invictus. It starts at 7 crore, goes up to 20 crores. Now that's a very niche segment, especially for a market like Thane. There are not many people who can afford that price tag in a Thane market. So how do you reach out to that audience? So that's where AI comes into the picture. We use artificial intelligence in targeting and in our marketing campaigns and automations and whatnot. And we have seen efficiency coming in. It helps the team to not actually get defocused and focused on those few but very powerful, hard-hitting leads actually.
So what was the percentage of efficiency it got you?
Sorry?
What was the percentage of cost efficiency you were able to achieve?
See, as far as cost efficiency is concerned, it's the return on investment, I'll say, is it's still very nascent, but I'll say that, from an efficiency perspective, we've gone up by at least 20-25%.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So great, Ashwinder, if you can summarize what we spoke about, role of AI, automation, personalization, cost efficiency, how do you see the overall picture?
No, I think, first of all, very well moderated. We've kind of covered a lot of things in a very august panel to discuss this. If I have to simplify the conversation, basically, any business that you see, you will see people saying that you have to follow the process. Because we have inputs in our control, we don't have output in our control. Effort is in our control to follow the process. The result and the output is never in our control. That is why we tell a salesperson you have to do 2 calls every day. That is why we tell a pre-sales person you have to do 50 calls every day. That is why KPIs are set. But the problem is the process is not followed. And AI will play a very key role, as my good friend Vishal just said that he's seen a 20% efficiency. AI will play a very important role in ensuring that whether it is pre-sales, whether it is sales, whether it is post-sales, whether it is collections, whether it is calling the customer at the right time to collect the money, that process gets followed, and AI systems will ensure the right triggers are in place, the right system is in place, so that if somebody has to call a customer on Monday at 11 o'clock, or if somebody has to send a WhatsApp at 4 o'clock on Tuesday, or a reminder for payment has to go, or a reminder for late payment has to go, whether it is anything to do with it, that engagement with the customer happens the way it was designed. That is the difference between an organized market and an unorganized market. I think the reason that we are having this event is that AI no longer is going to be a hobby. It is there to simplify our life, reduce the cost, increase the productivity, finally improve the brand, because customer engagement, customer service is also the brand, and improve profitability. And this is something that will finally change the way we do business in real estate. And now there are, Sapna, lot of companies that are providing these services, whether it is pre-sales, whether it is the CRM, which is more AI driven, and we have those options to start talking to them and integrating them within our major system to provide best customer service, which will give you best results over a period of time. So this cannot be ignored anymore.
That's correct. So we got the use cases from Rajeeb, where the bot has done the ranking of the leads and then increased the efficiency. As Vishal said, that using technology and AI for personalization, it has helped them increase efficiencies by 20%. Chaitanya said the mindset shift has to be there. For real estate developers, for real estate professionals, to engage AI in a very comprehensive way. And as Ashwinder summarized, that what AI does is make the people follow processes or make the process systematic, so that we are more organized, the organizations become organized, the communications become more organized and systematic. Now, before we go on to the end question of our end segment of our conversation, one controversial question that I would like to ask all of you. There is always a friction between sales and marketing functions. Do you think technology has been able to bridge the gap between the two functions? Has it become an enabler for both the functions? Vishal, if you want to take that first.
See, like you yourself said, it's a very controversial question. So I'll give a very balanced, fence-sitter kind of a reply. Mere do anmol ratan, ek sales, ek marketing.
Okay, so he's being diplomatic. He doesn't want to upset anyone. Rajeeb, you are a marketer. You tell me.
I think, for the sales and marketing, as long as the KPI is a single KPI, I think the integration is there. I think it depends on, how you fix that KPI. It's one KPI, keep it for both of them, whether it's a site walk-ins to be done or a conversion or revenue at the end of the day. As long as the KPI is same, I think the integration is there, and there is a tech that is helping us to fix that KPI. Today, I think everything is getting tracked, whether it's a direct lead or indirect lead, everything is getting tracked. So the dependency is not much in terms of manual intervention. And that's where I think the relationship is much better, and both of them working towards achieving the company KPI, which is the revenue.
Okay, so as per Rajeev, if you keep the goals, common KPIs, I think then both the functions can work together better, and technology becomes a bridge between the two and give them the, better overall view of the entire goal that has to be achieved. Ashwinder ji, what do you have to say? आपके तो बहुत सारे अनमोल रतन होंगे because you are heading the
नहीं
entire-
देखो, I have a very strong opinion about it and I will not sit on the fence at all. I feel that marketeers have always had the better of things than people in sales because real estate, till now, the effort to sell is always more than the effort to generate lead. Because generating a lead is a function of capital. How much money I put on Facebook, how much money I put on Google, how much money I give it to the agency, what is my budget, the leads will get generated. Well, whether the process of that lead is being followed, marketeers have a problem that my lead is not being called upon or dealt with properly. But the life of a marketeer in terms of actual execution has been a little simpler than the life of a sales, and we are all salespeople, at least 3 of us, and we would agree with it, I can say for everybody. However, going forward, the marketing team needs to be given the sales target along with the sales team. Because if you are going to say that I am going to do all this sexy stuff with AI and I am going to figure out that now this is the guy who is ready to buy, this is the guy who will buy in 2 months, this is the guy who's thinking of buying, this is a guy who's an investor, this guy is an end user, this guy is a first time buyer, and if you are so good and so many good things are happening, so you better start taking execution numbers and you own up the sales target. So if sales numbers don't happen, the marketing team also has a dent on their bonus, and if the leads number don't get converted, or if you are not following the process, even if you have delivered the numbers, the salesperson should get a dent on his bonus if the process was not followed, because his target might be 4, but he could have closed 8 because the quality of sales was very good. So all the dashboards need to be common, all the systems need to be common, and sales and marketing need to have a common goal, and they cannot operate in a silo anymore. If we are saying that the quality of lead generation and everything surrounding it because of
That's
AI
right.
is going to become so good.
Right. So what Ashwinder is saying, again, I'm sure a lot of salespeople will be very happy that he acknowledges they are the undervalued people and marketing guys get all the sexy stuff to do. But as what Rajeeb also said, what Ashwinder is also saying, if you have the common goals, common dashboards, common objectives, I think then they can work better and everyone is happy that, they are being judged fairly. Chaitanya, as your unbiased view, what do you feel the sync between the sales and marketing in real estate in one sentence if you have to give?
So I think they rightly said, shared vision, common objective is the key. I've seen very clearly now weekly governance happening between sales and marketing team to work together. Data supports that. The biggest challenge is, am I bringing the right walk-ins for you? If the sales people start talking about the walk-ins and their nurturing, that feeds into the marketing, it really smoothens out the process.
Okay, fantastic. As Vishal said, both are two Anmol Ratans of real estate sales and marketing. And as other speakers mentioned, they have to have a common objective. I think salespeople will become more tech-savvy marketeers, and marketeers will become more, sales-savvy. And that's how we will go forward. Technology will remain the enabler in the entire process. Now last word, the last segment, my last question, I will ask all my speakers to predict the future for us. What's next? What's the next frontier for sales and marketing? Given the technology is becoming more and more, relevant in real estate. Ashwinder ji, starting with you.
See,
what's the next frontier?
Real estate, we have to understand you have a luxury and a ultra luxury segment. Then you have a premium segment, and then you have an affordable segment. What is going to happen is, as my friend deals in luxury, say for example, he was saying his project 7 crores to 20 crores, we can say goodbye to AI, because none of his people who are going to buy that property are going to be sitting on Facebook, filling up a form, or even filling up their number, because they are too careful not to share their details with anybody. So whether you are on Facebook, or you are on AI, or you are on ChatGPT, or you are on Google, that segment can never be penetrated through online lead generation. On the premium side, the quality of lead generation will improve. The role of AI will be to ensure the process is followed to the T. People who do not follow the process, they are shipped out of the system, and you get the right people, whether it is pre-sales, sales, operations, post-sales, who follow the process enabled by technology and AI, and their conversion of leads will increase.
Okay.
Then comes the affordable, which I market as say 1 crore and below. That in the next 2-3 years for tier 1 developers, all is going to go online. I think 50% of sales will happen without human intervention. The way it is already happening in case of plot sales. Why go far away? In Mumbai, in Karjat, most of the large developers have sold plots without people visiting the site. There is no sales office there. Some of the largest developers don't have a sales office there. And my friend Vishal gave me some another perspective of a very big developer, which I don't even want to share how they sold. So that is my thinking that this is how things will move.
Okay. So as per Ashwinder, the next what we are going to see is the technology is being adopted as per the segment that we are selling or as per the segments that we are marketing. If it is luxury, interventions will be lesser. If it is affordable, premium or mid segment, technology would play a bigger role. Vishal, what's your prediction for the future?
See, what is technology? Technology is nothing but, convenience to the mankind. And what's going to happen is, in near future, technology aaj nahi hai. Technology was there, previously also, aaj bhi hai, kal bhi rahegi. What will change is the way people use technology. People will become more and more, anxious. People will become more, data savvy. People will seek transparency from developers, from buyers to sellers to channel partners. So everything will become transparent because this device is very, very powerful. Google is hearing everything, and what Google doesn't know, your wife knows. So technology
Okay.
is, yes, it will aid in supplementing some sales,
Yeah.
but I don't think so it can, replace human.
Technology is listening to everything, and if technology not, then the wives are listening, as Vishal said. Chaitanya, your last words, what's the future for real estate?
Technology would be a boardroom agenda, will become more stronger. Adoption of, at least leading practice would be adoption of technology, AI, Gen AI will increase multifold. It's going to give a definite fillip to your lead generation, lead engagement, lead conversion. That's the final word.
Okay, fantastic. So as per Chaitanya, technology, the future lies in technology.
I think with the
Rajeeb.
tech support, I think it's going to be critical is the experience. I think we are going to see more of better experience at the site, whether it's a physical or a digital. I think the key for a real estate is going to be after location is experience. I think that's going to be key.
Fantastic. So the future is technology as per our experts. For real estate, for sales and marketing, experience is what it is all about, comes down to. Efficiencies is what comes down to. There are some challenges in still, for real estate in adopting technologies. E-commerce way real estate will be going towards. So thank you so much to all our experts for those insights and making it very interesting as well. Thank you. And this was a perfect closing to our entire sessions of the day. Thank you so much.